Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into a cute story of Jimin and another army at a dinner and what apparently happened there. I also want to get into Rosé and Kanye West. I was very surprised over this thing when I saw it. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumpling at Teespilling Mug merch and let's jump into it. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is Jimin and an army. This story came to surface pretty recently and it started making its rounds. I wanted to clarify that I don't know how true this is. However, it doesn't make Jimin look bad at all, but more so a very kind person. And if it is true, then it is such an awesome thing to have happened, and I'm glad it did. A particular army, I believe, wrote this story on a forum or whatever. I am not entirely sure of the origin. But this army had talked about how she and her friend were at a Korean barbecue place when they noticed that BTS had walked in the door. This was, of course, a little while ago, as they all haven't been together for a little while. The army claimed that she noticed them right away and that the only person that was missing was Taeyang. So there were only 6 of them. Perhaps Taeyang was busy doing something. It's very difficult for all 7 members to always be together. One or a few of them could have personal things going on, so they choose to be by themselves. The army talked about how even though she saw BTS, she didn't want to bother them or go up to them or get a picture or whatever. Since BTS can rarely have moments where they are alone in public, there became kind of a rule among the fandom that when we see BTS in public, we must not disturb them or bother them and let them just do normal things. However, it depends on the situation, in my opinion. If you're seeing BTS in a big crowd and there's a possibility that if you go up and ask for a picture, it will create this domino effect and everyone will ask, then don't do it. But if you're alone at a restaurant, I don't think BTS will mind taking one photo with you. But this army said that they chose not to go up to BTS and respect their space, which is totally cool. But of course, if BTS is sitting there and having their lunch or whatever, and you're 5 feet away, good luck containing your excitement. I wouldn't be able to eat, and likely BTS would notice you constantly staring at them. And I think at this point in their career, when they see someone staring and constantly looking at them from another table, they just assume that that person recognizes them. So the army said that even though they didn't go up to BTS, when she was trying to check out and pay for her meal, the waiter said that Jimin paid for her meal already. Jimin was probably able to tell that the army was a fan, and a considerate one as well. There have definitely been fans who would be rude about this situation and force BTS to take a picture or worse, snap 50 pictures of them sitting at the table without their permission. I think during BTS fan meets or concerts, snap away. You can take whatever you want. Those events are made for taking pictures, but during a private moment, those pictures should not exist. And if Jimin or BTS members saw someone from afar with their phone snapping away, they would be annoyed and probably wouldn't be so kind as to pay for the fans' meal and probably just leave. After that, apparently right before they had left, the army did try to say hi and Jungkook went to shake her hand. Of course, this army must have been so happy, and not only to meet the idol, but to get to shake one of her idol's hands and have the other one pay for a meal. I think this is such a beautiful story, and it's stories like this that make armies really love BTS so much and fantasize about one day meeting BTS and having something like this happen to them. But of course, we can't have this thought or expectation that if we meet BTS, they are going to do a super nice thing like pay for our lunch or dinner. I wouldn't even want them to. I mean, I'd want them to, obviously, but I don't think I'd be able to accept it. This is always backlash when an army writes stories like this or has this type of interaction with the boys. So much so that if you look into these stories where they're written, the person who writes it would usually not put their name or face anywhere associated with the story because they know that they could potentially get a lot of hate for BTS being kind to them. And this is not from people who don't like BTS, although I wouldn't call these people fans either. But it comes from people who are jealous and only want BTS to treat them like that and not anyone else. So people see that Jimin treats this particular army so well, they don't want this army to have Jimin's attention. They want Jimin's attention. But take these stories with a grain of salt. You don't know if they're true or not. But also, if you're a person that is mad at this story can be true, then you need to get help. It's okay to be jealous, like wish you were that army, but to want to attack that army or want to deny the story because you refuse to believe it, well, let's not do that. BTS said that army is their girlfriend. Army is not one person, meaning they can sit there and be in a relationship with millions of people. So just because this one army got this beautiful moment doesn't mean that BTS favors this army to anyone else and that everyone else is just trash. This would be, if the story was true, just a simple gesture or thing that Jimin would do to give back. He definitely wouldn't be able to afford to do it to every army out there, but in this case, when this army was so nice in trying to give BTS their privacy and waited until they left or was done with their meal before saying hi, this probably meant a lot to BTS. They probably don't get many opportunities to speak to each other in public without interruptions. Jimin is so kind for paying for her meal, and it's probably a story she tells a lot to her friends and family and something she will never forget. When you respect the boys, you will get that respect respect back to you as well. I'm loving the fan and idol interactions. They make my day, and of course, I live vicariously through them. Aside from fan interactions, the most exciting to me is seeing interactions between Korean idols and American ones, because this is a crossover that I have been dreaming of for a while. I think when American parents see their daughters or sons get obsessed with a boy band like One Direction, the Jonas Brothers, Metallica, or the Beatles, they tend to think it's a phase, but not just that. They think it's normal and somewhat healthy. They're like, oh, as a kid, I loved a group too. But I've noticed when some people see their kids in love with BTS, it's like, why do you love those guys? Or like, they're so feminine, or they wear makeup. As if any of the groups I mentioned earlier don't wear makeup. It's because BTS doesn't look like an American family or have typical Western features. But seeing the crossover exist lately makes me really happy and excited for Asian music to make its mark on the world and be normalized. I was seeing on Instagram, Rosé from BLACKPINK posted something that made the internet go crazy. She posted a speaker that came from a company called Team Kano, and on the speaker she pressed play or something and it was playing Kanye West. She said thank you, and people assumed that Kanye West sent her this as a gift, maybe because it was Christmas time. My theory is it could have been a gift from the brand and it happened to play a Kanye West song, so Rosé just tagged Kanye in the post. Because if I got a gift from a friend and it was Beats headphones or something, I think I would just tag the friend and not the brand, especially if you're someone who has a social media following that Rosé does. You don't want to tag the brand and associate yourself with the brand without permission to do so, because her doing that is going to cause sales to the brand, and then the comment section is filled with people talking about Rosé, which is likely what has happened. These are all good things for a brand, but if the brand didn't want to be associated with Rosé for whatever reason, then you can see how that could be a problem. However, that is just a theory. The theory likely was that she probably didn't think of all that. She just saw it was a gift from Kanye and the brand, and she just posted it. People were wondering what her relationship with Kanye is, and why is she friends with him? Like, friends enough for him to even send a gift to her. But I mean, Rosé has been friends lately with some people I wouldn't have expected, so it's not weird considering that. People were wondering if she and Kanye were going to be doing a collab together, and maybe a song. I would love to hear that. However, I don't think Rosé is working on any solo stuff right now. I think they're going to focus on BLACKPINK as a group and that comeback. It would be weird that only Rosé got a gift if Kanye was planning on collaborating with all of the members. People were also upset because Kanye in recent years has been seen as problematic, and they don't want Rosé to be associated with that. But Rosé isn't like that. There's plenty of people in Hollywood that won't associate themselves with a person because that person maybe is a bit problematic. That is fine, and it's understandable why, but it also shows that we don't know everything. Behind the scenes, Kanye can literally be the nicest person ever. Kim Kardashian, who was married to Kanye for a while, say what you will about Kim and your opinion, but she has never had a scandal for being mean. And I don't think she would marry someone who was actually mean and be married for that long. I think we as the public see very little, and when you see someone who may appear to be widely disliked, but all the celebrities are posting about them and showing love, it could mean that behind the scenes, they're actually a really good person. Let me know what you think, and if you want more K-pop reaction videos, go to my Patreon, link below. I can't post them here due to copyright, but you can get all sorts of reaction videos and requests over there. It's a great way to support the channel even more if you would like to. Thank you so much for this lovely comment right here. I love you so much. There will be some videos that will pop up on screen, and I will see you over there. Bye.